G. I gotta keep in mind that relatives of mine is trying to build like me. Sit down with Gconnet, gotta think. Every moment got you tapping the mental and looking out for the key. As a youngin', do it all for the G. I gotta keep in mind that relatives of mine is trying to build like me.
Yo, this big wacko tapping in with Gconnet with my dude Bill Blast, man. You know what I'm saying? Salute.
Yo, what's poppin'? It's your boy OFB Young checking in with Gconnet, where different generations have real conversations. You did.
What's happening though, man? It's Mr. Ben Bracken, Fig Newton, representing this fast lane shit. I'm letting y'all know to go tap in with the homie Gee2beez, Bill Blast over there with that Gconnet show. Generation Conversation. Good game, good feed. Go on over there and get your belly fed. Yeah, most of all, like, comment, and subscribe. Let the homie know I sent you. Whoa, whoa.
Wes, happening though. Yeah, we tapped in, baby. We tapped in with who? The Generation Conversation, man. Y'all need to be a part of the convo, you heard me? Hey, look, shout out Gee2beez. My boy Bill blasting them over there, putting in that work, you heard me? Hey, look, y'all need to tap in. Generation Conversation, the Gconnet. Subscribe to him on YouTube, you heard me? And just know, we don't Jersey.
Hey, yo, what up, world? This is Leak from Inglewood, from the original Banging on Wax. Tapping in with Gconnet, where different generations have different conversations. With Gee2beez. Hey, so like, subscribe, and share on YouTube. Yeah, good looking out.
I ain't nothing, man. Just chilling, man. I do interviews on this motherfucker all the time, but every now and then, this bitch Alexa get to tripping. She ain't getting her moves and don't want to act right.
Hey, it be that way sometimes, man. So, hey, man. I'm glad you dropped in with us, man. You know, we starting this little shit called starting this little movement called Generation Conversation Network, where you know older cats like yourself can reach out and have conversation or speak on conversational things from our generation. The difference between our generation and their generation. I'm
not old. I wear tight pants now.
No, blood. Hey, I swear you must have been watching earlier because we were just talking about that, dog. I swear to God, I was just talking about that earlier. Like I can't grab these days. My jeans too loose. You know?
Yeah, I brought mine at the ankle. I brought mine in at the ankle a little bit, though. I ain't gonna frown.
Hey, and I did too, low key, but I ain't bringing it in too much. not too much.
I ain't trying to go too close to my thighs, though. I'm not with all that. What's happening, though, man?
Oh man, you know, just trying to spit out there a little something, man. I got one for you just to see your reaction. Do you remember this, bro? You remember this right here?
Like that, Big Wise 2001, two brothers. Yeah, relatives in the henchmen. Yeah, like that. Keep the P in it. Keep the B in it. Yeah. You better take advantage of your chance, cause you're losing me. Get your money and pay this P and start to choosing me. I hope you haven't had no bad thoughts or trick abusing me. Cause bitch, you're losing me. Cause I've been banging all aspects. But I said the one more cause I ain't quite ready as yet. Bitch, I'm born from the get-go. I want down Regals out the recycle. To the show. I'm in time, Mr. Uchiwari. I see the phone running through your body. Bend over, do it, mommy. You wanna smoke with me, you want for free. Never no dough for me, you know the beat. I grind hard for my little bits and pieces of scraps. Like every other nigga that started with a quarter of crack. Money, let me see you make it, baby. Shit, let me see you baby. Show me for the relative from the head. Don't speak on what you thinking on. We looking good, plus that marijuana, we get strong. Now we can ride and get high if those heat is long. And if they dance, you don't know me, you just sing a song.
Yeah, I had to take you back there, man. That was
yeah. I remember that for sure.
That was a jewel you dropped on me, man. You came through the studio. You blessed the booth, my nigga. Marcus still talking about that day, man. The producer.
Hey, where we record that at? Was that in Carson?
Yeah, that was in Carson.
Yeah.
In a little booth. Cause you had dying because you were talking about how much it wasn't enough room.
I remember that little small booth.
Hey, we had a good time though, for real though, man.
Yeah, yes, sir.
All right, so I got some. I didn't want to come off with them as questions, but you know, this shit motherfuckers should already know, but just so I can get it, you know, documented for myself, man. Tell the people where you was born at, why?
The lovely Inglewood, California.
Okay. So it's only right to say you went to all Inglewood high schools.
Of course. I didn't go to Inglewood High. I went to Morningside.
Okay. When would it be fair to say you started rapping?
I started actually rapping, really building my craft probably in 80, I want to say 85 and 85, but nobody didn't really know it though. You know what I mean? Like I used to play the back and just used to beatbox. I was a part of a crew called the Beat Boys Crew with me, my boy Marcel, which a lot of people know his name as Mental. Tupac used to talk about him a lot. And my boy Trey K, rest in peace, and a couple of others. And just being around them, man, and Red Rum and a lot of other dudes, Kurupt, you know what I mean, when he first moved out here, you know, they used to battle a lot, you know what I mean? And them dudes was good. Like Red Rum, he been nice like that from the gate, him and his cousin, him and Kurupt, you know what I'm saying? And, like my boy Marcel, Mental, he the one that actually taught me how to rap in 85, how to put bars together. You know, like people used to hear Pop talk about him a lot. Rest in peace, Mental and Kato. He like one of the ones that really pushed that thug life into Tupac whole persona. You know what I mean? And that was my best friend. And we used to work on my shit, when nobody wasn't looking and around over the phone and shit like that. But I used to beatbox and just be around listening to them dudes a lot. So I was really like the last and the runt of the litter of all the MCs that came out from my era, you know what I mean? And I used to just play the back and listen. And then when I got in high school, that's when I started letting it more so be known. So between 86 and 88 is when I started like really getting out there rapping. But before then, like I started doing shows and started recording when I was like 11 years old. Like I made my first record when I was 11.
Do you remember your first song?
Do I remember it?
I mean, not remember it, but do you remember what it was about? What beats you?
The actual record that I put out, I had a deal and everything. I did a single. It was a Lakers celebration single for when the Lakers won the championship. And I forget what label it was on, Reprise or Relativity, one of them. It was connected with Warner Brothers anyway. To this day, a couple of my homies and folks, they still got the actual vinyl, the 12-inch of the single that came out. And my name used to be Heavy Duty.
Oh, a lot of people don't know that, huh?
I mean, I said it in a few other interviews, but yeah, not a lot of people don't know that though. And that's when I first, kicked it off and really like listening to like, LL Cool J, Ice-T, King T, you know what I mean? And like really, when I really got the bug for rapping is watching, it used to be this show called Breaking and Entering, hosted by the Glove and Ice-T on TV. People don't remember that. You got kind of old to know about on TV. And I just got into it, man. And hip hop was, back then, hip hop was only been around maybe 10 years, you know what I mean? So, I caught the bug of it just like everybody else. Everybody was breakdancing, pop locking, and the whole nine. So I kind of just dove in it as a student of it.
So when you started off as a group?
No, I started off by myself.
Okay.
But initially, and when we did the Banging on Wax album, that was my first introduction to the world as far as on a mainstream project. And then after that, that's when I came out. The first thing we did was the Young Soldiers.
Yeah, that was one of my favorites, and the crowd pleaser. That East Side West Side was, that was the anthem right there.
Oh yeah, no question about that for sure.
Yeah, West. For that song off of Banging on Wax.
Which one?
That was actually on the Young Soldier album.
Yeah, that was on Young Soldier.
No, I'm saying the one that got me on. I'm from Detroit, by the way, bro.
Right.
And so what got me even on it was when the Bloods and Crips, we like Bloods and Crips, like they working together, like that's what they do out there. No internet or nothing. You know what I'm saying? Right. So we only know what we see and hear on TV and all that other shit.
Right.
So when that came, that was big for us. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like niggas is coming together, bro. What is y'all talking about?
Right. Yeah, it was headed in the right direction, and it was cool, man. Just to do music and really get some things going. You know what I mean? And dealing with dudes and really getting to know dudes without the bullshit. You know what I mean? And it's always been like that. You know what I mean? But back then, it was so ignorant that people wouldn't show it visibly. Like, you've had dudes, Crips and Bloods, hanging with each other, doing business with each other, you know what I mean? Since, from scratch. But it was just by being so ignorant and still so crazy in the early years, it wasn't visibly shown. You know what I mean? And, when we did it, it was kind of groundbreaking.
Right. Like like NWA did with West Coast rap.
Pretty much. That's exactly what it did. You know what I mean? Even though West Coast rap was already in motion, they kind of like put their foot on the moon with it first. You know what I'm saying? Like,
on a big stage.
To the world.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it was like the whole Jerry Heller thing, even though it was fucked up, he really opened that door for that music and our sound to be heard by the world. Because, it would have came eventually, but that deal they got with Priority opened the door up.
Well, me, and not only a friend as well as a fan, I know the movement, or should I say the transitions. Would you mind telling the viewers the transition of how you from how you transitioned from the Banging on Wax to the Young Soldiers to the next thing that's the next big thing? I'll let you speak on it. I know what it is. It's one of my favorites,
It was basically, we started off, with Banging on Wax or whatever, you know what I mean? And it was more so for me and my crew, it was more so for us to use it as an opportunity and a stepping stone for us to rap. You know what I mean? Even though we was banging and that's what we was doing, you know what I mean? We was still more so about trying to get the music out there. So, it was some fuckery going on with Banging on Wax early. And when we caught wind of it, we didn't leave right away or try to, buck the horse, real crazy. We just, worked out something like, look, since y'all did us like this on this end, y'all gonna give us our own real album with our own group, which was the Young Soldiers. And that's why, if you look, right after Banging on Wax, the first thing that came out after Banging on Wax was the Young Soldier album.
Before Banging on Wax 2, yep.
Before Banging on Wax 2, yeah. And So at that time, the first projects that came from Banging on Wax was us. And then, of course, everybody know Battle Cat and Domino, they blew up with that ghetto jam.
Yeah.
And then came Banging on Wax 2. And we kind of played the back a little bit on Banging on Wax 2 and produced more and brought in new artists. That's when we introduced Lil Hawk, Lil Laniac, Braze, like that. And then from there, we kind of, we was kind of outgrowing the situation. So OLTB had reached out to us and told us that Suge wanted to holler at us. So we left everything on the table over there with them, and just told them we was gonna take one song, which was East Side, West Side. So we took that song, the ownership of that song, and we remixed it and put it on the Murder Was the Case soundtrack. And that's when we signed with Death Row. And we was there for a little while. We recorded a Young Soldier album with Death Row that never came out due to the, just waiting in line to all the other artists that was in front of us. And, all the different shit, Their process wasn't like, their process to put records out is what created Master P's we're gonna drop everything process, and put everybody out, and that kind of played out. And once everything, kind of died down, we went through that gap and struggled for a little while, and the Young Soldiers kind of, we kind of grew apart doing our own thing, just like growing up,
Right.
So everybody was doing different stuff. So me and Booger, from there, that's when Booger came up with the idea for us to be a group, for me and him. And he came up with the name therelativez. And in '99, that's when we did the first Dirty Money album. And that's where it's been ever since.
For sure.
Okay.
So where did you get the idea the CALI swag?
Oh, well, after the relatives, I kind of, Booger wanted to do different things. We was just, as you get older, you can tend to want to do different things. Like my passion has always been music and anything that has to do with music. He always wanted to own a business and hustle and do different things like that. So I kind of stayed down, just went through some struggles with it actually, and started trying to do some things on my own by myself. And, and from there, I ended up hooking up with one of my partners, one of my dear partners, like my little bro now, Polly Rob. And but before that, I'm going too far. Before that, I went to Atlanta, and I stayed in Atlanta for a while, and we was working on doing some stuff. Me and my boy Eldorado Red was trying to build Bird Gang West. I don't know if you remember Bird Gang was built with Jim Jones. I had met with Jim a couple of times, me and him, and we was trying to build Bird Gang West. And when I came home from Atlanta, that's when my boy, I finally got my boy Wacko to kind of be involved in what I was doing as far as with music, And the Bird Gang West thing didn't go the way it needed to go because Jim was still doing some things and it was kind of interfering with what he had going on. So, some other things transpired, and Wacko was like, fuck it, man, let's just build our own shit. Let's go find a building. I'm going to put the cash up and do whatever we need to do to get our own studio. So me, him, probably Rob, we went and created our own thing, Checkmate Entertainment, and we just built from there, man. It was all based around me solo as a solo artist, but unselfishly, as I started looking at how music was changing and it was hard, as far as the music that we was known for and that I did, it wasn't really, it was kind of being put, it was kind of at a halt, and it wasn't really going nowhere. It was trying to change and the door was kind of opening up. That's when they start forming like the New West, and you start seeing the new artists like Problem and Glasses Malone and J-Rock and, and all of them. And it was working, but it didn't kind of, for them, it kind of took off. But as far as a whole, the West Coast wasn't, you know, it really wasn't it right then, you know what I mean? And then the future of it was the younger generation, younger than them, that came along around 2008, 9, like 7, 8, 9, you know, which was the whole, like the jerk era, you know what I mean? And I started to pay attention to that because my boy, rest in peace, my brother, Big B, you know, he was developing an artist, which y'all know today as YG. You know, he was developing them and telling me about Pusha Ink and all of them. So I started hanging around them. I got to know them and being around Ty and all of them, you know what I mean? And just watching them grow up and doing their thing in that stage of time. And I started to understand, like, damn, you know, maybe I need to step behind this mic and, you know, take some of this knowledge and, you know, everything that I've soaked up over the years and do something that's going to really mean something, you know.
Right.
So at the time I was, you know, one of the other artists that I knew, young kid, he was actually being managed by one of my homeboys. And for whatever reason, their situation didn't work out. So the young dude, his name is Young, he ended up being one of the members of CALI SWAG. He started coming to the studio on his own, wanted me to produce him, you know, produce some records for him and, you know, buy studio time and shit like that. So he started to come, you know, he came to the studio a few times. And then when he came, one day he came with his partner, M-Ball. And they would come and, you know what I mean, M-Ball would always be dancing and shit when he doing, you know, that was his thing. He was the part of that jerk era and the whole, you know, he was known for dancing or whatever. So we was playing some music, some young music one day. You know, I'm looking at them outside the, you know, the recording room, and they like doing this dance step, like it's like some shit they was doing in unison. I'm like, what the fuck is y'all doing? What is that? He was like, oh, this is just some little shit we be doing at parties. I'm like, yeah, for real? I'm like, damn, that's dope. Y'all should do a song, like put a song with that or something, you know what I mean? And it was like, yeah, but we ain't the one that made it up. I'm like, well, who made it up? There was like this dude, this DJ dude that we know named DJ C Smooth. And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, oh, well, all right. Why don't y'all bring him up here? And the next day they came with him. You know what I mean? And I asked him, could he rap? And, you know, he could rap, but he just confidence wasn't there yet. You know what I mean? So I tried to put a song together. I was working on trying to get a deal with DC Shoes at the time. So I put a song together for that and whatever, you know, it ended up being trash. It wasn't, you know, it was sounded cool, but it wasn't it. And so we just experimenting, and then now all three of them, and I could tell he the one made it up because the way he did it was a whole lot more swag, and it pumped them up when they did it, you know what I mean? And then after a while, M-Bone was like, man, we got another homie. You know, you ought to hear him, man. Like his voice is different. You know what I mean? He don't sound like nobody else. Like but he hard. He could rap. Like, you know what I mean? So they came again the next day, and they brought in this little dude, man. They're like a little Oriental. His name was JR. And he spit for me, and I'm like, damn, like this nigga's like a genius. The way he would move words around and deliver it, you know what I mean? And as little as he was, and like he was like the most gangsters one out of all the four. He the one that say on Teach Me How to Dougie, I hate skinny jeans because the burner keep rubbing. Like, and he would never even do the Dougie, the dance or nothing like that. So he always had this, even though he wasn't from nowhere, he had just like this deep, dark street mentality in him, you know what I mean? But he was just a fly young dude, you know what I mean? So one day I'm looking, and they all stand up again. I had the studio at a pool table. No, we didn't have a pool table yet. We just had it was just this black wall, and they was all standing against the wall talking. And I'm looking at them like, damn, this is crazy. Like, this is the group. Like, you know what I mean? Because they all it wasn't like you know how you got some dudes, they all stand together, everybody kind of look alike, dress the same, they all got the same kind of style. This was 4 different situations all together standing there. And I'm like, damn. You know, I'm looking at all the other dudes. I'm hearing about YG. I'm hearing about all these crews of these young dudes. And I had already had in my mind an idea and the name CALI SWAG District. And I asked them, I said, look, what y'all think about being a group? I got this name called the CALI SWAG District. You know, y'all could create the whole shit, make it like how the Pushers is, the Rejects, and whoever else. And they looked at each other and was like, all right, fuck it. And it just formed like that, man, you know, and it was CSD from there. And so we start recording records, man, every day. Some of them end up moving in the studio. Shit, we all lived in that motherfucker. I was half-ass doing dirt bad. I was living in that motherfucker at the time, really, you know, and we just starved it out, man. Any little money I had, that's how we fed them niggas and each other, and we just, you know, just grinded it out. You know, that lab, that just camaraderie, you know, we took, like, I treated it like how when niggas was working in a spot, you know what I'm saying? So we in there constantly working and doing records, and that's when kickbacks was big. So I would let Young was already like a little club promoter, so, you know, party promoter. So I would let them have little kickbacks at the studio. And I would see, like, they would fill that little motherfucking studio up with young girls and dudes, man. Like, and I'm like, damn, this is crazy. So they started doing records, and they would party to the records. And it was just like that over and over again, like every weekend, every other night, you know. And they buzz start to build, you know, around, you know what I mean? Like, as far as they, you know, around the city and, you know, they peers or whatnot, you know. And then one day, one of their homies came home from college and told them, like, man, y'all should do a record called Teach Me How to Dougie, about the Dougie, you know what I mean? And, you know, kind of had the idea of, like, how the chorus should go, just say it like this, or, you know, or some kind of way. And they came up with the actual rhythm of saying, teach me how to Dougie. And first, you know, it was a couple of us that was taking a shot at trying to make the beat for it. And the homegirl, out of everybody, the beat, it wasn't coming out right. Smooth tried, you know, JR tried, because they all both of them kind of dibble and dabble and working on try to make beats and stuff too. So homegirl Star, which was a producer, but she was like real seasoned. She was like, let me get a shot at it. So she went in there and did it, and like an hour later, she came out with the actual official beat for Teach Me How to Dougie. And we was like, damn, like, this is crazy. Like, it didn't sound like nothing else that nobody was doing. And over the next couple hours, you know what I mean, we formulated the hook, chopped it up. I had them chop it and, you know, place different parts a certain way of what Smooth was saying and how we was going to do it. And they added a female to it that, you know what I mean, to go along with the chorus. And once it just all came about, they laid their verses, man. And it was crazy because it happened that night that we did that song, they was actually throwing a kickback. So I want to say like about 12 midnight, man, the song was done and the playing was full of people in there, and they played that record. And I kid you not, when they played that record, the whole kickback, all the kids, everybody in there, I call them kids, they went nuts. They was standing on the table doing the Dougie dance, and I'm like, fuck, I'm everybody else partying and tripping. I'm standing to the back looking like,
that's it.
I fucking did it. You know what I'm saying? So I duck off into the bathroom and I'm calling Wacko. I'm like, blood, it's on. We did it. What you talking about, man? Man, we need to be working on your shit, man. I told you I wasn't ready for. I'm like, yeah, okay. I'll holler at you. I'm going to holler at you. You going to see. Man, I swear to God, from 12 midnight to I want to say 5 o'clock in the morning, I ain't never seen a party that was rocked by one song over and over and over and over again. And I'm like, damn, we got to film a video for this motherfucker. You know, that's when YouTube was new. You know what I mean? But it was working. You know, everything was on YouTube. So I'm like, fuck, we got to get this video. We ain't got no budget. You know what I'm saying? Wacko, he don't believe in this shit yet. You know what I mean? For me to even get him. So I had like $7,500 to my name and a camera and 2 cameras. And I bullshit you not, man. I went and bought a couple of cases of water. We got together and figured out what locations we wanted to use. And we rode around and shot that video at the donut pit where they used to go and do donuts in the cars. And I took them up to Centinela Park. We shot that video, put it up on YouTube. At the time, Tooted and Booted YG was out. And that motherfucker was buzzing, booming. So we put Teach Me How to Dougie up on YouTube. It started off as a joke. We're like, damn, we're going to make this motherfucker start buzzing like Tooted and Booted. That motherfucker gonna catch up. And I bullshit you not, man. That motherfucker went from a couple hundred views. We woke up in the morning, that motherfucker was at like damn near 3,000 views. And it kept building like that over and over. It was like, damn, this motherfucker had 5,000. And we look up like, fuck, this shit is 10,000 views. So I'm like, shit. And I hooked up with Chris Roker, and by then, Wacko, he full on board. He like, this shit is hot. This shit is crazy. You know what I mean? And we kind of going on, you know what I mean? He caught on early, though. I ain't going to play the homie like that, but he just didn't catch on that night. But the next couple of days, he was sold. Like, so we went and found, I forgot how we hooked up with Chris Roker and Randy. But anyway, we got him on the school tour, and we took him around to all the high schools and that they had on their lists, and all the middle schools and everything. And what we would do was we would post the high school dances. We would post the performances from the high schools up on YouTube. And we would let the kids know that y'all going to be up on YouTube. So y'all go on there and leave comments to see your school and this, that, and the third. So that combination of everything kind of
low-key competition.
It wasn't, yeah, but it was just like all the kids wanted to see themselves, you know what I mean?
Right.
And the song was getting more popular and more popular and popular. Mind you, this is underground. You know what I'm saying? No DJs and shit got this record. None of that. You know, maybe a couple of DJs, I think, probably we gave to the ones that we knew. And it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. You know what I mean? They going on doing the school tours or whatever. And then after a while, they blew up on the school tour so much, like schools and kids, it went from kids not knowing who they were to when we got to the school, the whole school is there waiting, singing the song, the whole shit. So mind you, this is only a few months, a month or two in after we did the record, recorded the record. So we living in the studio, eating noodles and Little Caesars pizza, and waking up every morning, 7, 8 o'clock. We got to be up, ready to do the school tour every day. So it just got bigger and bigger and bigger. And then one day, I think Sour Milk got at us on Twitter, or him and Charisma. And they came, you know, we hooked up and met them. And they was the first ones to drop Teach Me How to Dougie, Charisma, and Sour Milk on Power 106. And once they played that shit on Power 106, it was out of here. Everywhere. Clubs started calling us. DJs started calling us. It was over with. And then that's when we just started shopping it. And from there, shit, you know how it go.
Yeah.
That was 10 years ago and 4 million records later.
Damn, that was 10 years ago.
Oh yeah, hey, time fly, man.
Well,
I
it's a blessing. It's a blessing that the song was so big. Like, it's still huge. Like, I'm gonna keep it real with you, bro. That's my shit. One of my main sources of income, still to this day. That record.
I believe.
You know what I mean? And it's been big, man. We've been blessed to able to do a record. You know how some people call people one-hit wonders, but I don't feel like this is, because it's still here. You can still go to a club, no matter what race or creed or anything, and that record is one of them records. It's in there with you know how, like, I want to put it in the category, you know how no matter what party you go to, you're gonna always hear "Before I Let Go" by Frankie Beverly and Maze at some point in time. Like, when no matter where you go, you're gonna always hear "Teach Me How to Dougie" at a wedding, at a party, at a club, anything. And it's just like that. And they keep getting added. We done been in countless commercials, countless movies. We just did a deal with Fortnite like 2 or 3 days ago. And I mean, and you see how it's reinventing itself on TikTok. Everybody doing some new dance to it. You know, so I mean, that was a blessing, man. So for my career and everything that I've done in music, me stepping behind the mic and developing them was the height of my musical career and the best thing that ever happened.
Okay, for sure. Salute, G.
Salute, give your flowers now. You know what I'm saying? My next question to you is this, though, as far as today, what you mixing and mingling anything today? You behind the scene with anybody today?
Not really, except I'm developing a female artist named Marine Big Bags, and she's in a developmental stage. She's dope. Like, it's not like no stripper rap nasty bitch. Like, she's kind of like make you feel like the old Foxy Brown, Lil Kim. Like, you know, when they first came out, like fly boss female type shit. So, and then we just well, not just did, but we got an album that we done that's coming out pretty soon. Me and Wacko, we put together the evolution of Banging on Wax. And it's also a documentary that we're doing. It's not like the first one. It's just showing how, compared to then, how life has evolved through, you know, and changed, you know, and from the eras of since Banging on Wax, and how dudes do records together, how you'll see, like, you know, YG and Nipsey Hussle doing records together, or, you know, Rucci and BG Perico. Like, you know, it's like, it's normal records. It's not like the dissing going back and forth and all that, but just real music, cultural music that's dope, you know what I mean? And we got a lot of dudes on there: CeeLo Green, Mozzie, OT Genesis, AVAD, myself, of course, Fig Newton, 21 Savage. I mean, it's a lot of dudes on there, man. Gang, Snoop Dogg, like, it's a lot of dudes on there. And we're gonna be doing a documentary for it. And that's the next thing coming out.
Great. That's what's up. Look forward to it. On your career, though, you dropped what, 3
Oh, I
albums?
can't forget Red Rum is a part of that. Of course, Red Rum is a part of production and executive production with that project too.
Okay. The latest one that's come up?
Yep. I mean, I had to involve Red Rum. He was the creator of the first one.
Right. Okay. Let's see. Let me ask you this. Being that you've been in the game as long as you've been in the game, you care to speak on how you've seen the game changed as far as the industry changed from when you started in the late 80s till now?
If anything is gonna get better, it's gonna always change. You know, it might not seem like it's better to us, but a lot of things, change is gonna always be good. It's just up to us as you get older to be able to keep up with those changes. And I think the only reason why a lot of older dudes disagree with change and they shoot down what the youngsters are doing or how the business is changing is because their lack of knowledge of the changes. So if you stay involved and continue learning and being a part of the process, then, you know, you'll be able to adapt to it and you'll be able to enjoy it. And I think that's been me.
For sure. Somebody trying to get into the music business right now, what would be one of the main things you would tell them?
Learn the business. Learn the difference between ownership, masters, the difference between recording royalties and publishing royalties. Learn the difference, learn about branding, learn about marketing, learn about every aspect of what it takes to be the record and the business. Because it's a lot of opportunities now where you can be successful independently without a machine or a deal. You can be your own boss. It's just like opening a business, but you have to learn all the aspects that it takes to make that business thrive. It's just like we're opening up a hamburger stand. You got to know where to buy the vegetables from, the right price to buy the vegetables, buy the meat, buy everything that you need for that burger stand to run, how to market it. Are you going to go word of mouth? So you want to know how to market it, target your audience. So just basically learn all the elements to make what you're doing successful. That way you don't expect somebody else to be the labor and the reason that your passion or what you want to do blows up, because too much expectation leads to disappointment, and sometimes that'll kill a dream. So learn everything that you possibly can about what you want to do before you jump into it.
Jules.
And that's not just with music, that's with anything.
Jules. Okay. Well, how do you feel about the violence that's plaguing hip hop today? Being from the generation that we're from, to the way the concept of a rap disagreement was just that. We're gonna see who got the best bars. Now it's like, you know, the era of it's been changed to where niggas is gunning niggas down in broad daylight.
I mean, it's a combination of things. You got a different generation that's on a whole lot of designer drugs, and you got the internet that is a gift and a curse. The curse of it being is, and it's been since the beginning of time, no one likes to be embarrassed publicly or talked about publicly or ridiculed. So by people turning the light on disrespect constantly, and you're openly being able to see and receive the comments, backlash, and all the different things that hurts with someone's pride, that's what fuels a lot of this bullshit. You know what I mean? And then they're so ignorant to the fact of not caring and thinking it's tough. You know, if we had an enemy or somebody, it was cat and mouse to find each other. Now it's like, I'm over here, fuck it. You know what I mean? And then their pride is involved. And you know, once that gun come out, it's lights, camera, action. Ain't no more movie. You know what I mean? It's showtime. And it's like they just driven by all of the hype. And then the violence is a part of the hype. And everybody knows about it. You know what I mean? So it's just a fucked up situation, man. I don't, you know, I don't like it at all, you know. Any type of violence I'm not with. You know, I'm like, that shit is so dumb to me, man. It's just crazy, you know. I mean, it's always been fucked up, even from now to when we started. I mean, we are who we are, and we knee deep in what we in, and it can never change now. But you know, honestly, we all got wrapped up in some bullshit. It's just once you in so deep, and then it's controlled by pain and revenge, there's nothing you can do. So the best thing you can do is find a different influence and aim a different influence at others to get their mind in something directed in a different way. That way they don't even get wrapped up in it. Or if you've been wrapped up in it, find some way to take you out of it. That's why I just, you know, found my love somewhere else and drag my interests in different places. You know what I mean? And shit, the first thing, as soon as I got some money and started touching some real money, that was my way out. So hopefully these youngsters will figure out the same thing, man.
Sure. Who did you grow up listening to? What music, I mean, like artists did you grow up listening to?
Rap or just music, period?
Music, period. Rap as well, but music, period. I'm sure we all got the oldies situation because I'm gonna say rap. I'm gonna just say rap because yeah.
My house, you want to say my house? You gonna fuck around and hit Johnny Taylor, ZZ Hill, BB King, Bobby Blue Bland, Womack, all of that. You know, Rick James, Tina Marie. You know, and real talk, that really is the structure. If you notice, I mean, you can see it like even on the song I did with y'all. I come in singing on the record.
Right.
That's
and,
where that
that was back in the early Nate Dogg time. Nate Dogg wasn't even doing it. You know what I'm saying? Nate Dogg wasn't even doing that when you did that on my shit.
But see, we all come from that same cloth. He was, we just didn't know him yet.
Right.
He was doing it, you know what I mean? We just didn't know who he was yet, you know what I mean? But you know, that's the whole thing. But basically, really, like, you know, LL Cool J. Really, like, I listen to a lot of LL Cool J, King T, and Ice Cube, man.
Yeah.
You know, them was my main dudes right there.
It's funny you said that because the first rap I ever wrote to a fucking LL Cool J song.
How could you not, man? That nigga was bad, dude. What you mean? That nigga
I'm
was
not knocking it. I'm just saying it's just a coincidence that,
right.
You know what I'm saying? That was, you know, I'd say, well, I can remember the first song. I can't remember bar for bar, but I can remember the first song I ever wrote, you know what I'm saying, when I first started rapping. And it was to that track. It was sitting there on that, listening to that damn song. So, yeah, I can
say I'm Bad was one of the coldest ones that he put out. Still to this day to me.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. Nigga, that video was crazy. You be sitting there watching like, damn.
Yeah, that nigga was doing his stuff back then, yeah.
Yeah, 2 GJs. That nigga had Cut Creator and Bobcat. Nigga, them niggas was killing it. I'm like, ooh, this is hard.
So, who are you a fan of today? Who do you listen? Not a fan, but who's in your playlist today? In a younger generation or a new era?
I listen to a lot of Rick Ross, that's for sure. Joe Moses, of course. My boy Fig Newton, I listen to a lot of his shit. I like to do Blast. Blast is hard. And Ty Dolla $ign, OT Genesis. You know, I listen to all of them, man. I like Perico. BG Perico just dropped a record, I think yesterday, called Killing Them. I like his flow. He sound like something from our era, you know. And it's a lot of them, man. You know, a lot of these dudes is hard, man. You know, who else? Shit. Oh, I like Mo 3 before he passed, man.
Yeah, I like that song he did.
Everybody ain't
Another
your
one of them
friend,
days.
your partner, and man. And then I like all of that stuff that's coming out of Detroit right now. Them new young dudes too, man.
Easy.
Yep, and we were like T Grizzly, and it's a couple of other ones, man. Was it Sada Baby?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, yeah, like I like them dudes, you know. It's a lot, man. I give it all a chance, man. That's, you know, I like what they doing, man.
I got a couple questions. Top five favorite rappers, dead or alive.
Ice Cube, Scarface, E40, Jadakiss, B Brazy.
Okay. Are you familiar with the battle rap scene?
Yep.
Top five battle rappers.
Jag.
Neighborhoods.
Huh?
I said
You damn right.
neighborhood. You feel me?
Rolando, Jag, Arsenal, Geechee I can't remember the other couple other ones. Yeah, I can't remember a few other ones. It's a couple of other ones that I really like. Damn.
You want me to pull one out of you? I know you can. I know this one gotta be on your list. He gotta be on your list.
Was Morton Mook a battle rapper?
Who?
Murder Mook.
Yeah, that's a battle rapper.
Yeah, Murder Mook. That nigga's hard. And I can't think right now, man.
Guy you searching for what do you know what state he from?
I know you're from the East Coast though.
Okay. All right, so it ain't the guy I'm thinking about there.
Oh.
B-Dot.
Oh, yeah. You know why if I overlook B-Dot? It's because I just got up on him through my little homie Bumpybarz. I like my nigga. I listen to my little homie Bumpybarz too. His shit is rough too. And that nigga's
he's a beat. He on his way up.
Yeah, I just got up on him too.
Bumpy been killing shit too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I can't, matter of fact, I'm putting him in my top 5 because I can't leave him out at all. You know what I mean? Now that you think I'll be forgetting, man, I get old, but my young nigga Bumpy, he's sharpening his steel right now. And he been killing shit on the way up. He be in a bunch of battles. He's staying them. You know what I mean? And you know, shit, I think that's his lane versus him more so than making records because he get it's a different response from his battles than the music really.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Favorite album.
Favorite album. That's a good one, man, because I listen to so much music.
All right, let's just say top 5.
Thriller. It's gonna always be Thriller and Purple Rain. Those 2 albums. Mike and Prince Cole, motherfucker.
Purple Rain was that shit.
Rick James Cold Blooded album.
Yeah. Okay.
Doggy Style, Snoop Dogg. That whole album from beginning to end, easy.
Even the skits you on.
Even the skits. And of course, I gotta say, it's Ice Cube first album, 2 albums, Kill at Will and America's Most Wanted. Yep.
What's your favorite movie?
Scarface.
Okay. Favorite football team?
Buffalo Bills.
Basketball. You a Laker fan?
Come on, homie. Los Angeles Lakers, man.
All right, what about baseball? Who you fuck with on the baseball?
I really don't care, but in the end, I roll with the Dodgers because they LA.
I can dig that.
I never really got into baseball, and I damn sure didn't wear no Dodger hat.
You got me shocked on that one. But see, a lot of motherfuckers don't know that. Like I was telling my partner earlier.
Yeah, I would have never understood if I didn't know bees.
It's some hats you just don't buy, dog.
Yeah, they have a different meaning to us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I bought a Dodger hat, bro. I'm gonna tell you real. One time I bought some Dodger Blue All-Stars. I did. And I had some white shorts, and it was, it looked good. I was my grown man in the blue and white shirt. And then one day I bought a Dodger hat. It was fitted. And I'm like, damn, why this motherfucker fit better than any fitted hat I've ever purchased? I'm gonna keep it real. It's something about that Boston hat.
This motherfucker fits perfect.
That Yankee hat. Them motherfuckers hit different on your head.
I got a question. Is it a problem wearing a Detroit Tigers hat in Inglewood?
No.
Okay. I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out where I went wrong.
None of that shit don't mean nothing no more.
No, not now. I'm talking. Well, I'm gonna say the time frame.
What year was that? What year was
99, 2000 time frame.
He got an Inglewood experience.
Huh?
He got an Inglewood experience. Let him tell you his Inglewood experience. We go. Yeah, tell him. This is what I'm gonna let you know. If you was just
I used to live in Cali for about 5 years. In San Diego, from 99 to like 2003, 4.
Oh, you was in San Diego when we was pushing the Dirty Money album out there.
Hey, I used to kick it with J.O. Felony and I forgot his name.
Oh, see, I wasn't fucking with them.
See, I was in the military. I was in the military. I was in the military.
I was in San Diego.
Yeah. But I didn't know who he was at the time. Later on, I got out the military and everything. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. But anyway, little chick had us. We came out there and shit. She rode with us and everything. We go to her granny house on the corners. I don't know where I was at. I just know I was in Inglewood. You know what I'm saying? And niggas rolled up. We standing up against the car. I had on a Detroit hat, navy blue Detroit hat, blue and gray Nautica jogging suit with some 95 Air Max, which was blue and gray.
Nigga, you was fool. You was fool.
My homeboy kept telling me, don't wear that shit. And I'm like, bro, I'm from Detroit. I ain't in that shit. I ain't got nothing to do with none of that shit. You know?
Don't mind.
I didn't know.
Niggas ain't asking questions.
Listen though, check this out. I'm just standing up against the car, my homie up against the phone, the girl up on the porch and shit about to come down. Some niggas just rolled up, and if they wanted to do something to us, they could have did whatever they wanted to do, but they shot the car up on purpose. They just shot the car up. They didn't say nothing until after they shot the car up and said, "Get the fuck out of our hood." I'm like, all right, nigga, what an exit? Oh, you know what I'm saying? This way, my G, I ain't want no problems, no smoking nothing, bro. Just let us get the fuck from around here, my nigga.
And he ain't been back there since.
That lets you know one or two things. They done had an issue with that girl bringing niggas to the hood before.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Them bras, see, back then, and even still to this day, them chicks will get your ass killed. Because their whole thing is, fuck them niggas, they ain't gonna do nothing. Yeah, okay. They're not gonna do nothing to you because you're a girl. You know what I mean? When that was back then, now that bitch get weird too.
Yeah, now the homegirls beat the bitch up.
Yeah, so what you got was a couple of warning shots to your fender.
Exactly.
Because they can't serve jaw.
That's how
because you standing up there looking like you looking, and what's going on is a danger to them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They don't know who you is, and you in the hood. You know what I mean?
And mind you, he a soldier. He fresh out the military, so his stand is different. He got that, and he got that different posture with it. Like he the hardest nigga on the corner. He don't realize.
Exactly. Them shoulders straight up, that chest out.
Like I wish you niggas would, nigga. Like what?
The first thing they gonna say, oh, this nigga think he hard. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna keep it real. I ain't saying that I'm from the worstest turf, but I'm one of the hardest. And in 99 to 2000, if you would have been standing up in the bottoms like that, it wouldn't have been no warning shots. You would have got hit. And they would have talked about it later.
Hey, good thing I was in the right wrong area.
Not bad. You shouldn't have been over here like that.
Yeah, ain't nobody. I didn't have nobody to put me up on shit or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? That was my first time out of fucking Michigan. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you'll be surprised, man. A lot of niggas done lost their life behind this ignorant ass shit that we come from out here. From not knowing.
I see you've been training lately, man. What brought that about? Congrats, man. Congrats, first and foremost. Hey, I see you staying true to it.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard, man. You know, my main thing, I'm still working on my discipline to keep my diet firm. You know, that's an up and down battle, but thank God I'm able to keep my workout going, you know, constantly, you know, to offset this shit and keep me losing some weight and keep my body, my body is changing. That's the good thing. It's going in a different phase. But when my homeboy Big B died, that was kind of like the tipping block for me. You know, his wife came home and found him dead in the chair. You know what I mean? So that was it for me. You know, I started unselfishly not thinking about myself, but my girl, my kids, you know what I'm saying? Like the effect, if something happened to me behind not caring enough about myself, how would it affect them? You know what I mean? So I treat it like this is a fight for my life. So I chose to make swimming and boxing my main alternative of working out, because I don't like walking and doing all that. All that shit is boring.
Yes, it is.
You know, so that's what I do now. It's getting that hot, so I'm gonna get my Michael Phelps back on again.
It ain't nothing wrong with that, man. You know what I'm saying? That's a beautiful thing. They have knowledge to do that. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I'm thinking different too. I haven't had a drink and smoked no weed in like 6 months, man.
Hey, man, salute, man. Had I known that you was on a, you know what I'm saying, I wouldn't even sit here and indulge like that, even though it didn't bother you.
It ain't no thing. Shit, my little homie, I be in the studio, my little homie Scarface, he don't give a fuck. He'll fire up 9 blunts back to back while sitting right next to me. So it ain't no thing, you know. I just choose not to right now.
For sure. Hey, yeah. Well, shit, you got anything, bro?
No, man, I appreciate you, big homie, for chopping it up with us, having a good convo.
I appreciate you having me, man.
Yeah, and I personally, you know, I ain't got nothing but love and respect for you, homie. I've been knowing you for years, you know what I'm saying? And we didn't, seen a whole lot of shit. So, I appreciate you for taking time out your life. Blessings. Gconnet for the big wide conversation, man. Drop some on us.
For sure. I appreciate y'all for having me, man. Yo, what's up? I'm Big Y, and it's the Generation Conversation Network. Y'all tap in.
Whoa,
what's up?
No doubt.
All right, y'all, it's your boy JT Turner, man, the comedian. I just want to tell everybody thank you for tapping in with my folks from Gconnet. Yes, indeed. These fellas right here, they actually bring a perspective from a different generation with real conversations. And your co-host of Fire. Give it up for my main man, Gee2beez, and my man, D-Nail. Make sure you subscribe to their YouTube channel, man. It is Fire, where they bring real conversations with real people, kind of like myself, comedians, artists, just get a real perspective, you know what I'm saying, with a little bit of twist in it. So just want to appreciate everybody, tell everybody thank you for tuning in. It's your boy JT Turner Comedy on all social media. Hit me up, man. I appreciate you.
With D and Gee2beez, a generation conversation. If you ain't got the patience.